if I were to be Boeing, I would have put even more pressure, because that's their job. I somehow want to extricate myself from here, and if I have to throw 2 Indian pilots under the bus, that is fine. So I will extricate my company. I will do everything. I will go to the government and say, boss, bachao, please come with me, do something, do whatever it takes. Just let us get out of this issue. We will compensate anybody with anything.
Welcome to the Gist on Strat News Global. I am Surya Gangadharan. Our focus is on the Air India crash so many days ago in Ahmedabad. And I have with me Captain Sam Thomas of the Airline Pilots Association. We're going to try and get an update on what the crash investigation is, what are the findings so far, and where he thinks the issues that come up. Captain Sam Thomas, good to have you again. What's the update on the crash?
Well, we have passed the initial report that was given. As most of you are aware, that the initial report created more havoc in the country than in the crash itself. So this is for the first time that we saw that we got something positive out of the media movement, because the journalist also understood that this is something that cannot be tolerated in today's day and age. So we pointed out a lot of inefficiencies in the preliminary report, and we were able to draw the attention of the officials to that, and to their credit, they did take the input and have finally appointed one of the pilots who's rated on the 787, very experienced gentleman. At least that's a step in the positive direction. We also wanted them to take in more experts, and like the engineers, this being a complex airplane, the tech engineers need to be on board, like airframe, power plant, and avionics. That will go a long way in figuring out what exactly happened, or more accurately, what happened.
Is it normal for findings of the kind that that we all saw? Is it normal for such findings to be released?
No, not at all. See, there is a template or a broad guideline under which the preliminary reports as per Annex 13 are released. Now, the Annex 13 or any ICAO document is more advisory in nature, and it does not mandate, like most of the IPC, CRPC clauses. They don't mandate, if you don't do this, this is going to happen to you. That is not the case. Now, that's assuming that you have basic common sense and you are from a civilized country. So now when you start doing things which are not in compliance with the preliminary requirements, then you could argue that there is no sentence mandating a release of preliminary report in 30 days. That is done to make sure that everybody involved, particularly the passengers who perished and their relatives, know that it's going in a particular direction and the authorities are doing their job. And all stakeholders are informed that this is the line in which we are going. So that needs a basic sort of template. What was released was a marked example of how you could make a document without applying your mind. So that had the backlash. However, things have sort of made itself better, we believe, right now.
So why were these findings, these interim kind of points made public? I mean, when it's not done, did people didn't know the rules? Was there perhaps pressure from some quarter?
A bit of both. One is, if you don't know your job, you tend to make errors in that, and you more often than not make errors in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And pressures, yes, everybody. With the moment there's a crash of this magnitude, there is pressure from every side. And the OEMs come in, the NTSB comes in, the citizens of UK who were on board the airplane, they were represented by the UK authorities.
Mhm.
But what we were trying to tell them is that the UK and the US and everybody were represented well by subject matter experts or experts in
Mhm.
air accident investigation. But ours, not so much. So I have been accused of being highly harsh with those AAIB, and
Mhm.
so in further interviews I have gone on to say, to the best of my English ability, how I can not hurt their feelings.
So, the accident investigation people, they are from the government, they are a private agency. How does it work?
Uh, to be honest, every air accident investigation board is supposed to be independent of, it should be an independent entity. However,
Okay,
this AAIB works under the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Now,
I
the
see.
first thing they tell you is that there are no staff. That's with every government agency. You go to CISF and the guy doesn't know his job, he'll tell us staff nahi hai, sir.
Yeah,
So when you go to DGCA, staff nahi hai. And of course AIB staff nahi hai. So what I will do is uh, these are not errors by, rather it's not by error, it's by design. This is the way our
yeah.
bureaucracy works. See,
Hmm.
then I can always walk into that place. Since there was nobody, we found Sam Thomas sleeping on the footpath, and
Yeah.
apparently he had a flying license with him. So we said, chalo boss, come on, you be the head of this committee.
Hmm.
So then they find that, he's not that compliant variety. ये तो सुनेगा नहीं.
Hmm.
So let us hunt for people who have retired or from the Air Force, and not from flying background, from somewhere, who will come, who will, yes sir, three bags full, and you
Mhm.
can do what you want. And that's the way, then it, I mean, me trying to tell you this is like, you know,
Yeah.
uh, not really warranted. But as far as the report and the air accident investigation is concerned, if you do not have subject matter experts, see, either you keep it public or you keep it private. Choice is
Yeah.
yours. When you allow foreigners to come here, that time first you should do is confidentiality. You
Yeah.
put a paper in front of them and say, boss, sign this. Anything that goes out from here should go through me and not
Hmm.
through any one of you. If you cannot maintain that, that's the door. Now, unless you are of that stature, you won't be able to tell somebody of another country that you need to take a walk.
Yeah.
So that is where we were lacking. And what they have done is they have selectively put out half a sentence of what somebody allegedly said. Now we don't even know whether they said that. In today's day and age of AI, you can make anybody speak
Yeah.
anything, put it there and go.
Hmm.
So that looks like a Nityananda's, speech. So, and what we were trying to highlight is that we have a specific role. Now, with all this speculation, my job, instead of doing my actual job, I am negating the media, fighting with so-called experts.
Hmm.
And when I was giving an interview to one of the foreign channels, they said that, boss, all said and done good, but it is your pilots or one senior pilot who said that it's a pilot induced accident. So don't blame us. Uh, so we were just of the opinion that journalists, news houses, they have to get to the bottom of this. They try, and if they speculate, it is fine. It's when the
Hmm.
pilots or alleged pilots start speculating,
Hmm.
then there is an issue. So we brought it to the media's attention that just because somebody works as a driver in a pilot's house, don't invite him to give expert comments. It's the same thing. Sometimes they may equate. Ye gaadi chalata hai, wo plane chalata hai. It's the same thing. So you will get these kind of inputs and authoritatively. And that has led to a lot of angst among the serving pilots.
Is there pressure from, say, OEMs like Boeing that have a lot at stake here?
Oh, yes. If I were to be Boeing, I would have put even more pressure because that's their job. I somehow want to extricate myself from here, and if I have to throw two Indian pilots under the bus, that is fine. So I will extricate my company. I will do everything. I will go to the government and say, boss, bachao, please come with me, do something, do whatever it takes. Just let us get out of this issue. We will compensate anybody with anything. But our equipment should not, because a lot at stake here. And we do have people reaching out to me to say that, which is standard practice. The boss, ho gaya. Abhi, if you go behind this the way you are going, huge company might suffer 1.5 million jobs directly and 6 million jobs indirectly. Think of the bigger picture. I said, yes, I'm looking at a very big picture right now. I am not against Boeing or against the pilots or against anybody else. My thing is, as an association representing pilots, you put out everything transparently. If it's a pilot error, it's a pilot error. It's not the first time that a pilot error is attributed towards an accident. So, or rather, an accident is attributed to pilot error. But just don't come out with something, because you set the narrative already. Now, once you set the narrative, you will play around that. And no matter how much proof I give you, it's still going to be, pilot error. Because now on the road also people are telling me, kya yaar, fuel switch off kar diya. So that's a public perception. I mean, just look at the thing. A pilot with 15,000 hours gets into a plane, if he wanted to actually do something, if you wait for 12 more minutes, you will be over the ocean. Then you can do what you want. I mean, why do it just after takeoff? Because we are very, very sure that this is not the case. But since the narrative is already set, there's very little we can do about it. We are trying our best. We'll fight till the last minute, but I don't see much hope. Luckily, some of the media have found that, yes, they've called and said, surely this cannot happen, because we gave them data. This is what happened. These are the proofs. Given this limited data, we will show it to you that it's not a case of, pilot suicide.
You think a lot has been, I've read a lot about how the switches for the fuel to turn on and off the fuel need to be handled in a certain way.
Correct.
Has there been any previous instance of those switches malfunctioning?
See, they have malfunctioned. That is the reason why even in the initial report, there is a advisory by FAA stating, hello, please look at these switches. And that is the reason why all these switches have been looked at. But personally, I don't feel there is an issue, because it is not something that slips that easily. And if at all it slips, only one might slip. Both slipping at the same time, impossible.
Yeah.
And also, I'd like to quote one of the pilots on TV, Captain Ehsan Khalid, who identified first that both are in run position even in the photograph. The fuel cutoff switches are in the run position. Now, if an impact of that severity has not put these switches back down, then how will it automatically this one? So that was a very valid point. And therefore, we feel that no, there was no problem with those switches. They were deliberately put off in response to a checklist.
And the pilots have the sole responsibility for turning that on and off.
Correct. Correct. So there is also a distinction to be made here. fuel control switches, which the pilots turn on and off, fuel
Mm-hmm.
shut-off valves, which are downline, and
Mm-hmm.
they are controlled not only by the switches but also by the full authority digital engine control, or the FADC.
Yeah.
Now, there has been a case earlier where this FADC has lost its mind and turned it off in the All Nippon case, where on
Mm-hmm.
landing, both these fuel shut-off valve were turned off. We believe an electrical failure or something of that sort might be the right direction in which you should be looking. And you should look at everything,
Yeah.
then narrow it down by elimination or probability, and then come to the final conclusion and then release it. Till then, don't say anything. This, by releasing one sentence and telling the media two things, are particularly the Western media.
Yeah.
One is they went to town with it, saying that there's no problem with the airplane, it is the pilot who did it. Therefore, there should be no adverse effect on the company as such, reputation of the company. The other thing is the narrative is set. Now let's go around that only. Everybody likes that. It's a good thing, What a
Yeah,
story. You can make a movie.
Yeah. So, so at this stage, are you confident that the investigation will be done in a fair, transparent manner?
I hope. My hope is that it's done in a transparent manner. What we were going is one step further. What is all the secrecy about? Is it some spy game that's going on? Invite the top-notch journalist, invite the top-notch engineers, pilots, everybody, and let's make a core team and keep it on camera. The Honorable Supreme Court conducts its proceedings sometimes with the camera on and telecast taking place. What can be more important than that? Your small little inquiry. So what is this that you got to hide? So there's something which needs to be more transparent, and you should appear to be doing something transparently. And not just nobody is talking, nobody knew who was the investigator. Finally, when we found out who the chief investigator was, then you tried to tell us that no, it is highly secretive. He needs security. Is he like a heroine from Bollywood? What security? Are people going to molest him or something like that? What is the case? Like, why don't you just chill and do a professional job like everybody else? So that is something that we were concerned about, and we will believe it when we see it, because this already said, even if he wants to do a good job, probably there are limitations, because you put out this narrative. Somebody is always going to come out, and social media, like people like those Steve, astronaut.
Yeah.
Beg your pardon. Those guys are putting out one theory per hour. So luckily our parent organization called us and told, do not contradict him. Let him say what he has to do, because he is waiting for you to come on board, and hundreds of invitations are there. Please come and contradict so-and-so. No, that gives him an additional 30,000 clicks.
Yeah.
Gets him another. So this is something that we don't understand. And they have something called the First Amendment rights. Anybody can say anything to anybody. Nobody is responsible for what they're saying. Freedom of speech is absolute there. So we got dragged into that, and therefore we could not concentrate on the fact that we are an organization as Alpa India. We are an organization that looks after flight safety and pilot welfare. So that is something that we need to highlight, and we were asking for the truth, not for defending the pilots or defending the Air India company or Boeing or anybody else, or GE for that matter. We want the absolute truth to come out, and it come out in a timely manner, in a transparent manner.
Tell me, given all these shenanigans, would it be preferable that this investigation be take place overseas, or by perhaps outside investigators?
Uh, See, if we didn't have the capability or the intellect, I would agree to that. We have in-house super, way better than many of the countries. But as always, it's not the best of talent that is brought forward here. It's the compliant talent that is brought out. So just like on day one, they said this EAFR is damaged beyond a particular level, so we have to take it to the US to decode it. We brought it to the attention of the media that please take a look. You just inaugurated a brand new lab in Delhi for 9 crores 6 months back.
Yeah.
And that is specifically for DFDR decoding. And now you're saying it's not possible. Then they said, acha, acha. Yes, very good. Good, you pointed out. We will do it over here. And so that's the level at which we are going. And believe me, each of these facets that I told you about flying, that's with pilots, engineers, air traffic controllers, cabin crew, and other allied activities, we have very good experts. But then you must have an intent to approach them. They are sitting happily. They don't want to come and solve your problem. So therefore, you put in somebody who's not up to the mark. You will get what you got.
Captain, given the issues with the investigation in India, does it make sense if the investigation is done overseas or perhaps with investigators from overseas?
See, the investigators from overseas are always welcome. But for the record, me make it absolutely clear that we've got the expertise, and the necessary infrastructure to carry it out to the complete conclusion. Unfortunately, there seems to be an effort to look at people who are more compliant rather than people who are more qualified. So this is one of the problems that we had with the initial composition of the committee as well. So if you're saying that we have to take it to a foreign country, that's a very good idea. A lot of people can go on tourism, take this black box, go there, live for a month, and timely then ask for extensions. If that is the case, then yes. However, if you're looking for a comprehensive result to come out of these detailed investigation, once again, we do have the experts, we do have the expertise and the necessary infrastructure.
So you had earlier mentioned about secrecy, an unnecessary kind of veil of secrecy over this. Is that also the norm overseas, or is it something unique to India?
Well, one of the journalists that I was speaking to was very offended by the leak that I was propounding the leak, because she said, don't call it a leak, it's called smart journalism. So I said, if you've got a smart journalist in such a critical area where everything is held in secrecy, why not bring in the Indian journalists as well? They're equally smart, no? So they should come in. You leaked it only to foreign journalists. So the secrecy part of it should have been handled better. All we are saying is you have two options. One is go into a cave and do secretly and come out, or make it transparent like civilized society. Let's do it through the experts. Don't do this mid kind of thing where you selectively leaked one part of the line to one media house who went to the US and then did whatever they had to do. So that's our objection. So, yeah, I'm still saying Indians, take the help of any expert in the world you want to, but let's get to the truth. Let's get to the conclusion and let it look like we did a thorough job rather than a speculative job.
So last question. Looking from outside, looking in, what would your reaction be to what you see happening here?
I'm an eternal optimist. I take out the good points of whatever happened. From what happened in this entire circus, that if I can call it, the media came out trumps in one, accepting that there was an issue with the leak of the information, and pushing for justice in such a way that the highest authority came and responded in a matter positive to whatever they had to do. So I take that positive out. And when they said that they need an expert pilot to be there, rated on the 787, that was also followed. And the Honorable Minister also, along with the Director of AAIB, brought out in writing whatever we were saying all along. And that showed that our push for the truth through the media and independent journalists is the correct strategy that we used. And it's the correct way to go forward in a civilized society where journalism is one of the main pillars of the society. Responsible journalism, I must add. The other entertainment is always going to be there as a part of it because, be entertained as well. That portion has been taken care by social. Fantastic job pushing forward the quest for truth along with Alpha India.
Yeah. So on that note, Captain Sam Thomas, good talking to you. I'm glad at the end we have something positive that has come out of this. And hopefully here down the line, we'll have a proper investigation with a proper credible result. Thanks very much for sparing time from your schedule to talk to us. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Surya. Bye.
That's all we have for you on this broadcast. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on social media. Thank you very much. Good day.